Welcome to this webinar. We're going to walk through a demonstration of Bluemix and Watson Data Platform. My name is Mike Berrigan, and I'm joined with Ron Flannery. And together we're going to give you a high-level look at how Bluemix and Watson Data Platform can help your organization. First, we're going to walk through a solution overview. The first thing here is, what's the biggest challenge for organizations to move into the cloud and to organize their data? The first thing is it's very difficult to have access to a single master copy of your data or the single version of the truth. Typically, most data today is fragmented. You have your HR data, you'll have your customer relationship data, perhaps your financial data. It's very hard to have this all organized into a single location, and that's one of the biggest problems today. It's very hard to organize the data, and because of that, it takes a long time to access data and make decisions based on that. So part of this is to make the data more accessible, make it easy to access and more accessible to access so you can make better database decisions. And to do that, we're seeing more professionals across the board that need access to it. So here's four personas that we're going to talk about today. So we have business professionals, app developers, data engineers or DBAs, and data scientists. These are kind of the four main personas that we're going to focus on. And again, the goal is make it easy for folks to access their data so they can make better decisions. Now, how's that going to be accomplished? Well, one of the key concepts with the Watson Data Platform is to make it easy for each of these four personas to have the same common set of tools, the common set of data. Right? We call that experiences. And to do that, really the first step, there are kind of three basic steps here. The first step is called ingest. Second step is persist. The third step is analyze. These are three major tenets here to this platform. So this platform is designed to pull in data from disparate systems, number one. Could be structured, unstructured. Number two, if needed to be persisted, great. We have a way to store that data. And then certainly, the last piece here is analyze. Analyze means, what are we going to do with this data? Do we have to build a report? Do we need some self-service? Perhaps even machine learning, so we can take that information and plug it back into another application. These are all pieces for the Watson Data Platform. The benefit here, everything we're going to talk about is part of the IBM Cloud. And we're going to show how IBM Bluemix, which is a cloud platform, can make your life a lot easier. Each of these services we're going to touch on today is available on Bluemix, and it's very easy to go ahead and play with this software. And certainly there's a trial as well that you can take advantage of. With that being said, let's touch on some of the main pieces of this platform. So the platform itself is a collection of services, right? And these services are designed to make your life a lot easier. In fact, on Bluemix, where Watson Data Platform runs, there's over 130 different services. We're going to touch on a handful today. So within the ingest bucket here, ingest means we're going to take data from a source and move it into a target. Right? So essentially, we're moving data. Part of that data movement means we may have some data cleansing. So maybe there's some data that we want to ignore. Maybe there's some data we want to join with other pieces of data. So there's a couple pieces here. One is Data Connect. We're going to show that today. And Data Connect is a lightweight service designed to move data from point A to point B. Plus, along the way, guess what? This could be an on-premise source. This could be a source that's in the cloud already. The goal being we need to get this data into a target. So in our case, we're going to move data from a NoSQL database into a SQL data warehouse as part of the demonstration. And there's a number of ways we can do that, but Data Connect is one way to do that. There's ground to cloud migration. We have some organizations that have large data warehouses or large databases that want to move that to the cloud. So part of that is basically connecting in. I have a secure connection into that on-premise system, and in a very efficient, fast way, move that data into the cloud. So we call that database. We call that Bluemix Lift. And then stream computing. In many cases, if you need a very fast way to have real-time streaming of data, we have stream computing. So that's another option. So based on that, what's the next step? We talked about persist. Persist is basically storing this data. and what's the right place and what's the right method to store this data. And it depends on what you're trying to do. And for the most part, are you supporting an application or are you supporting analytics and reports? At the highest level, if you look at the bottom here, we have managed relational database. Well, this relational database could be supporting an application, could be supporting a data warehouse, right? So it all depends on how you configure that database. In addition, we have this notion of a NoSQL database called Cloudant. So Cloudant is a NoSQL database designed to support, in many cases, mobile and web applications. We're going to touch on this today as well. And then just in general, there's database hosting. So the difference being there's a fully managed service being the ability to have things like dashDB and Cloudant, where IBM manages the database for you, manages the patches, it manages the updates, manages the backups for you. That's fully managed. Versus hosted, IBM stands up the database for you, allows you to have more control on the database, where you can go ahead and manage the patch level. You update it when you want to update it. You back it up based on your preferences, so it gives you more control. So it all depends on what your goal is. But these are a few of the options that we have within the persist bucket. And then third tier, again, analyze. Then what do you do with the data? So what's the purpose of consolidating my financial data, my customer records? What's the purpose of putting all this stuff together? Maybe I want to pull in some Twitter data, some customer sentiment, see what's out there. The goal being is we can make better business decisions. If I know what my clients are saying based on blog data or Twitter data, if I know what my financial performance has been over the last 12 to 24 months, maybe I can say, geez, we're doing well here, but not so well here. We're doing okay in this region, but not in this region. Maybe this sales force is doing okay, but not this sales force. So what we can start to do is make improvements. The things that we're not doing so well, we can improve, and maybe the things we are doing well, guess what? We can take those things and apply them to the other groups. So this is a way we can start making better decisions, and we can start improving our business. And do things like increase revenue, decrease costs, improve customer satisfaction, things like that. Okay? So to do that, we have a number of tools. We have Watson Analytics, which is a self-service data discovery. What's nice about this is you don't need to be a programmer at all. This is all supports a human-readable format. So if I type in, show me a quantity sold and profit by time, what happens is Watson Analytics pulls up, gives you some options. You pick the tally you want. It builds the analysis and the chart for you. In addition, it makes recommendations. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about looking at not only quantity sold and profit over time? Have you thought about looking at revenue, for example? So it'll make recommendations based on your data. So the benefit to you is you don't have to be a programmer. It's very fast. You can do your self-service discovery, and then from there, at that point, if you want to do even more analysis, you can take it on to things like Cognos Analytics, which this is more your next generation business intelligence platform. What does that mean? This is for more your enterprise reporting. If I actually wanted your reporting in dashboarding, this is where you would put that together. This is enterprise class business intelligence, been around for a number of years. And now Cognos Analytics, it's running in the cloud as well. So then we have things like Spark as a service. We have machine learning. We have other components in here, part of this platform, that really round out the platform. So if you're trying to do things like, we want to build an application, provide some machine learning, how do we get started on that? You can get started here on Bluemix. You can start playing with some of these services. Spark as a service is designed to make things even faster. So it's an in-memory engine where I can leverage some of the things I'm already doing, just make them a lot faster. All right, so again, just to recap, we touched on a few major kind of tenets to the Watson Data Platform. Number one, it's all in the cloud. It's all part of this IBM cloud where many of these things are running on Bluemix. The benefit being Bluemix is a set of services. In this case, we have over 100. You're basically picking the right tool for the job. And since all these are on the same platform, it's very easy to build out a solution, build out an architecture. So if I have to move data, if I have to persist data, analyze data, I can leverage all that in the same place, and all these are integrated and make it very easy to put this together. So at this point, I'd like to pause and see if you have any questions before we dive into the demonstration.